Hello and welcome to GP Doc Talk. This is the second video and we're talking about anxiety and depression. We often lump those together. They can be two separate diagnoses and many people have a combination of the two. We lump them together because the treatment is very similar. Some people have what's called high functioning anxiety and they don't need treatment. They do very well. Other people have disabling depression in which they can't get out of bed. So the diagnosis has a wide range of symptomology. Many causes out there, genetics, how you're raised, your environment, your society, your diet. It's increasing in the world, so there must be something going on in our society that's causing that to happen. Things that we haven't yet addressed or can really define. The treatment covers a wide range. One of the more important ones, I think, is diet. So caffeine and alcohol are both not good for you. Caffeine is a stimulant, which makes anxiety worse. Alcohol is a depressant, which makes depression worse. And also the junk food and ultra-processed food, which have lots of chemicals that aren't really good for you. A high protein diet is very good. So protein is a forerunner to the hormones that go into our head and make us feel better. So starting a day with eggs is better than processed cereal. So paying a lot of attention to diet can have a strong impact. Regular sleep, but when we say that, we know that anxiety and depression often make it difficult to sleep because your thoughts are racing when you go to bed. But having a set bedtime and trying to get a good sleep routine is very important because we know fatigue makes coping skills much less. Exercise, obviously important. Morning sunlight, important. But that is a long list of things to achieve. And even for those of us that don't have depression and anxiety, that's quite a long list of things to organize into what's already a busy day for most people. So you can see the burden of this diagnosis is increasing just in the treatment that we're suggesting. Medication has a very important role. For some people, they'll go on an antidepressant and it's like opens a doorway into a world they didn't know exist. They're just tremendously better. For other people, they get less response, like it might sort of quieten the noise in their head somewhat, but the noise is still there. And for others, the medication doesn't work, so it's not for everybody. So there's a wide range of responses and there is a wide range of medication. And I would encourage you to pursue those treatments. And of course, counseling. Counseling is so important in teaching you the skill sets that you need to deal with the symptoms and any past trauma. So a combination of things that you should do yourself, such as the diet and the exercise and the sleep, the medication, the counseling. That's a lot. So again, I'd like to just acknowledge the amount of effort that we're expecting people to put in. That is a lot to put up with. I'd also like to counteract society views. So I think society in general doesn't have a great compassion for mental health or mental illness or however you want to label it. I think people get thrown fairly negative terms like just calm down or get a grip or deal with it or all these sort of terms that have a very negative connotation. And I think that society fails to see how much you are doing. So depression and anxiety is like having a heavy backpack on your back. You wake up and there's this heavy load. You have to carry it all day. You go to bed with it. It's a lot. And yet we expect you to carry this heavy load, do all the things we've said, and have a normal job and a normal family and a normal social life. It is an awful burden because depression and anxiety makes it very difficult to make any choices because anything you think of, you'll instantly think of 1,000 reasons why it's not going to work. So the choice of taking medicine, for example, is extremely difficult because you know 1,000 reasons why the medicines will be no good and they're terrible and all that. So even the things that can potentially help you, it's hard for you to reach out and take advantage of because your brain is telling you no, no, no. And I think that's really important for friends and family to know, is how hard it is for every choice. You know, you don't have anything in your head going, yeah, that'll be great. You just have things going on in your head that says, no, 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 don't do it. Sometimes you try to overly organize your life, so you can be obsessive and compulsive about organizing. So if you just control things, it won't be so stressful, and then that becomes a stress in itself. But I think sometimes if we look at things with a slightly different perspective, it helps us with our understanding. So rather than seeing people that are suffering with these disorders and that sort of negative connotation, I tend to see them as so strong. Man, they're dealing with all these things, and they still choose to get up and face the day and try again. You know, I can take refuge in my brain and it can console me. They struggle to take refuge in their brain because their brain is telling them all these negative things, and that can turn into negative self-talk as well and putting their own selves down. So just the things that we all rely on to make our lives better is the one thing they can't rely on to make their life better. With all the treatments and medication and all those things, it can improve. So I'm not trying to say it's a helpless problem. Definitely can live good quality life struggling with these issues. But I suppose the message that I'm really trying to stress is to give the people with these diagnoses respect. It's a long list of things they have to do every day to try to manage it. It can make them irritable because doing all this is a lot and it takes a lot of effort. So acknowledge the effort they're putting in, even when sometimes from our own view it doesn't seem to be enough. For me, I admire their strength. I acknowledge their suffering and the effort they're putting in. And I often tell them that they're my heroes because they are putting in so much effort to just achieve another day.